Good evening, guys. This is Coach, your mentor. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you guys are doing all right. I just wanted to take this time out today to just go to my coffee spot here, my local coffee spot, to just unwind. And while I was still here, funny fact, while I was still here, I was just going through my messages, and I saw that a couple of people are actually having some challenges with purchasing, or rather understanding, or the whole debacle behind the FSGO 3.0 course. Remember that the FSGO 2.0 course, lifetime course, is still valid and it's still around and will not be discontinued. FSGO 3.0 pre-sale has launched right now, and it's going at $100 pre-sale amount. So which means that when the course drops, when the course officially drops, it is going to be dropping at amount of $400, of which is about 6,500 rand, South African rand. So get your FSGO 3.0 course right now, $100 pre-sale, and save yourself the trouble of actually getting the course at a full amount. So the topic of today's video is entries and how to master your entries, because a couple of people have been asking me how do I capitalize on my entries, how do I win on my trades, and what are the thought process behind actually executing your trades and mastering your craft and hitting your targets, and what are the thoughts behind actually being in a drawdown or actually holding a loss on a trade for a while. Right here I'll pop up some of the trades that I've been trading, or rather been holding for the past week or so that you guys can see how long I hold my trades and so on. I'll be showing you how to master your entries, how to take trades on the US30 and the Nasdaq in particular, because a lot of people have been saying that I've been trading Nasdaq and US30 for a long time, but lately, or rather as of late, I have been trading a lot of currency pairs, and I did this video for you guys to show you how I master my trades on, or rather master my entries, sniper entries on my Nasdaq and my US30. So I'll pop up my laptop shortly and show you how I take my trades on the Nasdaq and US30. Remember, if you haven't yet, hit that like and hit that subscribe. Let's get this channel to 10,000 subscribers. We just hit 5,000 subscribers not so long ago. Thank you so much for 5,000 subscribers.
Hi guys, now we have reached our lesson part of the video. Remember guys, in this video we're going to be looking at how to master sniper entries in the Forex market and specific patterns in the market as well, and knowing how patterns work and how to spot entries with those specific patterns. And we also want to know how to trade and execute those patterns, where to put your stop loss and where to put your take profit margins in the market. So for now, I will ask you to simply take your pen and take your paper and sit back and enjoy this part of the video, as we going to delve more into how to use your highs and your lows, and to how to master specific sniper entries. Okay guys, before getting into today's topic, I'd like us to actually look into our DXY. Our DXY is the dollar itself. It's the movement of the dollar, not in correlation to anything else or not against anything else, but this is the actual direction and the movement of the strength of the dollar itself. So I'd like us to actually first look into the video that we had about 2 weeks back, day trading strategy that works. This video we actually were talking about a few of our pairs that we're looking for on our watch list, but as you can see open here on your screen, we have the day trading strategy that works. On the 30th of May, we actually had anticipations of bullish runs on the DXY, on the dollar itself. Our confirmation was upon the breakage of the structure. Remember that we were not trading against the trend, but we are only trading the breakage and the retest, also based on further confirmations of which we have for ourselves. So as you can see right here by the naked eye, already we can see that we did hit our take profit margin. But before actually hitting our take profit margin, we just want to delve back into how we saw this move and why we saw this move and what are the best ways to capitalize further in future. Because I solely believe that what you cannot review, you cannot improve. So meaning that you could take profits or you can hit your stop losses, but if you don't go back and review and revise what happened and why it happened, you're not going to improve. You're not going to improve at all. So with our naked eye already, we can see that we have our shoulder price, we have our head, and we have our shoulder price, which is our inverse head and shoulder. Inverse head and shoulder signaling pushes to the upside. It's a market of which is coming from a supporting price and is rising in price. So our first confirmation obviously was the anticipation of the right shoulder, on top of actually retesting above this breakage of our trend line. So this would then be our initial entry, but we were waiting to actually have our shoulder price, because we know that our scalp traders already took profits here by the first turning point in the market. So we waited for market to actually play out and give us our entry, and so then we got the confirmation price over here, and then orders went there. So our third confirmation, was our overall daily structure, of which is this trend line. This trend line was respected. This trend line was greatly respected. Market fell from these prices over here. Market fell and respected this supporting trend line, being at the second touch of the trend line. So after it broke and retested, we knew that we are bound to hit our right shoulder, of which is our third touch in the trend, and we know that our third touch in our overall bullish trend, we're having strong buys of which are going to the upside. So our target prices obviously were this price, and that price. Our last target price was the ultimate high, of which the ultimate high was reached. So as you can see, what market did after reaching those highs over there, we only spiked above, but we never retested to continue our bullish runs. But however, what happened was market retested below our ultimate high prices over there. So in any other layman's terms, we should be looking for further sells going on to the downside of the trend. But before actually calling bias on that, we actually want to go into the main topic of today's video, of which is the Nasdaq and the US30 and how to spot entries, or rather markets. So we can see on our NAS 100 H4 market is open. Our H4 time frame is open on the Nasdaq. Firstly, we then go to our H1 time frame to go look for the patterns within the overall structure of the Nasdaq market. So we can see that market had some level of consolidation, of which was broken but not retested to the T. Market fell. So once market fell, we created our lows and we created our highs in the bearish structure. I want us to first actually delve more into our recent prices, because that is the most important price points of which we're going to be using if we're going to be forecasting, or rather taking any orders on the Nasdaq. So what we can see here, we can see that market created a level of support. The double bottom was painted over here, and then we had bullish runs to the upper part of the trend. And once we had bullish runs to the upper part of the trend, what happened was, if you can just look at the dotted line going on to your left part of the trend, it was a level of support in the recent past. So we respected that level of support, and then market did what? Market created a level of resistance over here, and then we fell. This was our peak high, and then market then came to test our same peak high, giving it a double top pattern formation, of which is producing cells going on to the to the downside of the trend. So once market fell and gave us more pushes to the downside of the trend, looking more to the left part of the trend again on the dotted line, we can see that it was a level of support again, of which right now as we speaking it was respected again. So what happened here, market respected that level of support and the level of resistance, and then it fell again. So once it falls again, it creates a flag over here. Let me just paint this out properly for you guys. As you can see, it's painting some sort of a flag over here, and this flag, you can see that it is a level of resistance. So 1, 2, 3 and 4. So what happens is, I'd like to just first clone this trend line to the lower part of this bullish flag. So if you can see that what we're having over here is what we call a classic correction in the market. So once market breaks out of this pattern over here, one of two things can happen. Should market respect this level of support over here, it's going to bounce off and then break over to the upper part of the trend, right? I do not know why my internet is lagging, but it seems to be a bit slow. But the important part is actually getting the video done and actually getting you guys to understand how to catch, or rather master, your sniper entries. So that is the first objective of which was going to happen. But I go more with what is more probable, or rather than is more profitable. So what happens in this case over here, we've seen market paint this type of picture before. A classic impulse to the downside and your correction to the upside. Your impulse to the downside and your correction to the upside. So what would be waiting for to happen over here? Market breaking below this price point over here and giving us what we call repetition. So once market follows this pattern going to the downside, we know that we're having continuation sells going off to the downside of the market. Before actually concluding upon the video, let us open our chart on the US30. Let us focus our eyes more on the US30. I just wanted to show you guys the importance of the US30 and the Nasdaq. You can see already what we were looking for on the Nasdaq already is painting itself on the US30. So already, as you guys can see, if you focus your eyes more on this price point over here, you can see that market painted for us some sort of price pattern that we had on the Nasdaq. Market broke out of the consolidation price, and then it didn't retest to the T, but it did retest, giving us a level of consolidation, of which was a correction, right? Respecting the overall moves to the downside. So we had our moves to our pushes to the downside, and we had a high over here. We had more pushes to the downside, and we had a high over here. What we're anticipating to happen over here, since it's a Sunday evening, we're waiting for market to give us one of two things. Already we can see that market created a level of support over here. We call it a low. This low was tested. But once this low was tested, we know that our previous high has to be broken. But our previous high failed to be broken. Hence what? Market did what? Market respected. If I can put my mouse over here and you guys can just move your eyes to the left part of the chart and you can look at the dotted line. It was a level of support, right? So this is why market respected this level of support. So the same thing that of which is happening on Nasdaq. Our classic impulse and correction. Should market break above, let me just mark this price point up over here. Should market break above this price point over here, we know that we should be challenging this level of resistance, because we failed to challenge it after our first low was challenged. So another thing that can transpire is that, let's just mark this low of which we're talking about. Should market break that level of support of which is this low, this price point over here, we're having more pushes to the downside, and this is actually confirming our correction over here. So once market breaks out of this level of correction, we know that we're going to be having further pushes to the downside. So that is how I take my sniper entries, mainly on the Nasdaq and the US30. Also in mixing it up, also mixing it up with my fundamental analysis. I believe later on in the week I will give you guys a fundamental approach on how I look at the market and in terms of fundamentals, and how I catch news events, high impact news events such as your FOMC news events, such as your Fed news events, and your NFP news events. But for this video, I believe that we can conclude upon mastering entries. And remember that what is more important and something to take away from this video is that patterns do not lie. Patterns always repeat themselves, and patterns will always arise in the market. Remember to not force yourself on the market, but actually wait for the market to present a setup for you, and then you can then follow what the market has painted out for you. So for now, I can safely conclude upon this video and say thank you for watching, and thank you for subscribing. We just hit 5,000 subscribers on the channel. Let us push the channel to about 10,000 subscribers, because I know that once we hit the level of 10,000, more people can actually be engaged, and we can actually touch more lives, and we can assist more people in the Forex market. So without wasting any of your guys' times, enjoy the rest of your Sunday evening. This is FX Coach, your mentor, signing out.